Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killing, pre-cold villains on the mic, got you reeling. Five-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a one-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos. By the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the straight chilling crew.
What up, nerds, and welcome to another made-for-TV episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name's Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 495, recorded on Monday, September 23rd, 2024. Tonight, we're talking about another Patreon pick. This one was chosen by Gabriel. The movie is The Haunted from 1991. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy, Randeezy.
Trick or treat, trick or treat.
What's going on, buddy? Are you ready to get spooky today?
Stop haunting me, man. Why are you doing it?
Haunt your
I don't
ass.
like it. Don't
I'm going
do
to haunt it.
it. Okay.
I'm going to haunt
That's
your
fine.
ass.
My ass is always haunted. Next up,
Yeah, brown
calling
ghosts
in from
only,
Seoul,
though.
South Korea, we got your boy Soju. What's up, man?
Oh, what up? It's your boy, Holy Father Stains. Blessed be the stank ass, apparently. Bob.
Open up a can of with ass.
It always is blessed.
Yeah, I try. I do my best to keep you blessed, but
Exercise these demons.
you keep being naughty, Bob.
They call me Naughty Bob. Last but
I believe someone does.
not least,
Santa
making
Claus.
his triumphant return to the Straight Chilling podcast, we got your boy Mikey. What's up, dude?
Hello, boys. I'm happy to be back with you guys.
Hello,
We're
Mike.
happy
Hell
to
yeah.
have you.
Are you? Because we
I'm
always
very happy
you're,
to be here.
you're such a pinch hitter. You always come in on the weirdest episodes. It's great.
I'm happy that this isn't about them damn tomatoes,
Oh,
and
boy.
this isn't one of those.
Oh, I'm
It's
so
not one of those.
sorry.
Oh my goodness! And then it's also
It
not one of those butthole or dirty pecker movies. It's just a normal ass. This is a normal ass movie. So I'm happy about that.
I will
Clean
say,
theme movie.
in the pre-show when Randy first just got on, I was like, "Oh, do we have a guest?" He's like, "Yeah, Mikey's coming on." I was like, "Why don't we get Mikey on for these? We need to give this poor man a good movie."
I want to show off my chops. I'm sort of smart, so I mean I have some things to say, but you know we're just gonna have some fun.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, that's why we bring you on for the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And for the
Yeah.
getting hard stuff.
getting
Speaking of getting hard, Mikey, you have a podcast, right?
Oh
Huh?
Lord,
sure do. It's
What
it's
is
with
it?
you,
What
buddy?
do you do? Am I on it? I don't remember that.
It-
What happens?
Yeah, a part of you is on it, but yeah, we're part of the Let's Get Physical Media podcast where we talk about Blu-rays and 4Ks all day, and we just talk about our monthly pickups. Just check that out if you guys are collectors or just enthusiasts.
Hell yeah.
Nerds abound.
I would call
Check
Bob
it
an
out.
enthusiast. That's for sure.
I would
I'm
call
an
Bob
enthused.
I would call Bob an addict myself, but
There's a lot of things you can call me.
I'd
Naughty
be
Bob
held to
is
the
one of
blues
them.
myself this weekend, and
Naughty-
man, it's imposing.
Naughty Bob's Blu-rays. Yeah, check out Let's Get Physical Media everywhere you get your podcast. Let's tackle a little bit of housekeeping real quick on our end here. We do have our October poll currently posted on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on 3 movies we're talking about this October. As is our want during the month of October, the 3 of us program triple features, all with a theme, and you vote on the theme alone. You find out what the movies are after the poll closes. And the themes you're voting on are Lost and Found, Thrill Me, and Ghastly Ghouls.
Whoa, Bob, heading into the last week of October. I believe last week was a tie. How's it looking now?
So there has been some changes, but it's still an extremely tight race. So Ghastly Ghouls is now in first place with 37% of the vote. Thrill Me is in second place with 33% of the vote. Lost and Found is in third place with 30%.
This has been
Oh, man.
this has been like the craziest month we've had in a long time,
Yeah.
at least. It's been
Yeah.
going
Well,
back and forth.
Yeah.
The three-way tie was something special, but now it's
Yeah.
like it's really a matter of who wants to game the system hardest.
Who's gonna game it?
People, we've literally instituted the spoiler effect, and people are going to be starting to vote for their against their least preferred rather than for their favorite.
Uh-oh.
That's just
boy.
democracy manifest, you know.
Oh, boys. We're the
The way it's meant to
problem.
be. Yeah, you've got about a week left at the time of us recording this, anyways, to get those votes in. And it's still anybody's game. Make sure you do it before the end of September. We'll see what 3 movies we're talking about in October. Also, minicast dropping every other Friday. We got one dropping this Friday on Cuckoo. That's September 27th. Juice, you're talking about this one. This is one of yours.
Yeah, Cuckoo came out not too long ago. I think officially around the beginning of August or sometime in August maybe. But yeah, I found that film to be very interesting. It was one that had a lot of buzz going through the festival season this year and finally dropped. And I think a lot of people ultimately enjoyed it. It's very weird. It's very strange, different kind of film. But I thought it was quite original, which was refreshing for the times we're living in, where everything's some kind of remix or legacy or some kind of redux thing. So yeah,
Go backs and revisits them. So I
yeah,
guess the
Yeah.
preferred.
yeah, we got about 10 of those
That's
this
the
year.
nomenclature.
So
Yeah.
it is. So yeah, Cuckoo. I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool movie.
Yeah, Cuckoo dropping this Friday, the 27th on Patreon. Also, coming up every single Friday throughout the month of October, we are joined by our buddy Warren from The Simpsons is Greater Than to talk about some more Treehouse of Horror episodes. We're talking Treehouse of Horror 15, 16, 17, and 18
Whoa.
every Friday throughout the month of October.
Yeah.
Let us all bask in television's warm, glowing, warming glow.
Precisely.
Our 5-year anniversary of covering The Simpsons, year number 5.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Halfway done. Halfway done.
Halfway there.
If we were a season of The Simpsons, we'd be one of the good ones still.
So by
that's-
Straight
Yeah.
Chillin' season 15, we'll cover all the
We're gonna be really dipping in quality then.
damn, we're getting into bad Simpsons territory here.
Yes, we are overstaying our welcome
Right.
and hard.
The last bit of Patreon news I have here is we are celebrating our 4th annual Chilloween party on Friday, October 18th at 9 Eastern. And this is for anybody that supports us on Patreon at any level. And it is going to be a virtual Halloween party. We do it via Zoom. We're going to do some horror trivia. We're going to have a costume contest, and we're going to host a surprise horror movie screening with commentary. And like I said, that's Friday, October 18th at 9. Come hang out with us.
Pumpkins.
Oh yeah, man.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Bring your ass, bring your pumpkins, bring your costumes. There's gonna be some extra
Bring your
special.
pumpkin asses.
Bring your please bring and shake your pumpkin
Yeah.
asses.
I only want them pumpkin asses at this party. It's one of those.
I want an ass that looks like a baby pumpkin.
Well, I want the full thing.
Baby.
You want a
pump,
whole
yeah.
pump- okay.
At
I'm not
20
talking about
more
those little
definition.
green pumpkins,
like-
okay? I want the big
I like
orange.
packing in the heat.
Or the weird ones that like do all the curly cues with the bumpies and
Yeah,
stuff.
those
Oh, you
ones
like
I
the
like.
warty ones. I see. Okay. Okay. I can understand why somebody else besides me might want that.
So, not me, I swear, I promise, not me.
Not me. I've never.
And the last thing I have here is we're going to be recording episode 500 here very, very soon, actually. If you guys want to call in and leave a voicemail to be featured on that or send an email to be featured on that, you got to get those in before September 28th. So mark your calendars. Get those in. 904-638-3231 is the phone number if you would like to call.
All right.
The list is looking peaky right now, so get in
Hit
there.
us up.
Don't know what that
And-
means.
Light.
It's peeking at you. That's all I got. You guys have things to plug? Anything? Bueller?
I could plug
Plugs.
Mikey.
Ah,
your
I
Plug
think
me.
I think my house is clean.
I think my house is also clean. Bob.
Wiki.
His house is clean.
All right, we are getting into the main event. We're talking about The Haunted, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
I'm gonna ask the expert since we got him. Michael, does this box
Yes, sir.
exist? Do you have this box? What's up with this box?
I don't think it exists. I actually looked for it too.
Oh,
And
really?
then I asked Bob. Yeah, I asked Bob. I was like, "Hey, where the hell can I watch this movie?" And that's when he sent me a YouTube link.
Oh,
I think that's the
okay.
first time I ever watched an
It-
entire movie on YouTube.
That's
It
kind of.
does exist. I found it, but I
Oh,
don't
really?
have it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you can get it on DVD, and I think there's a Blu-ray, but I don't know if it's bootleg or not. But I saw one out there.
It's
I'm
probably
gonna put-
bootleg.
Probably.
I don't have a lot of skin in the game, but I'm gonna put some money on bootleg on that.
Yeah. DVD sounds right, but
Yeah.
come on, where's the VHS, boys? Come on, I'm a little disappointed.
Damn
Don't
it.
tempt Bob.
I hate
There's
when
a
I
growing
disappoint
VHS.
Mr.
I
State
Collection
know. How
in
many
that room.
VHSs have you bought this week?
this week.
Oh,
Well, it is Monday, so none.
Oh, okay.
Bob go wrong, worrying his friends, sifting way too long through those Blu-ray bins. And it gets worse, he'll have no jet ski, wasting all his dough on those DVDs.
and
I-
VHSs.
I will say, however, Mikey found a stack of horror VHS tapes and tried to buy them for the collection,
Hmm.
but was denied. So we
Oh,
almost
no.
had like 10, which would have been insane.
Denied
It
by
was-
you or by the person that owned them?
They didn't want to sell them?
No, they
He
didn't.
didn't. He didn't want to sell them to me.
Oh, was it at a con? Was it one of those people who just shut you down at the cons who won't let you
Oh no,
from
they
them
love.
anymore?
They love Mikey at the cons.
Not everybody.
I just can't bear to part with this.
That's false.
No, they recognize me now,
I
especially
know.
at Spooky
They do.
Empire, and they shoo me off now.
Yeah, get out of here.
They're like,
guy.
"Oh,
Come
it's
on.
you, it's you."
We got to be
The
here the whole
shark is
weekend.
back.
Get out of here. You bother me, kid.
You guys want to go home early? I'll buy the table. So yeah,
so who
we're
denied it? I gotta know.
Oh, it was
He just
it was a friend. It was a friend of ours that he helps us out at the warehouse,
Oh,
and
okay. So it's personal.
one friend sold it to him when he didn't listen to me, or he
Mm.
probably had weed brain and he forgot that I said I wanted it.
Ah, damn.
And yeah, it was a stack of 6 Stephen King VHS tapes.
Damn,
That's all it was.
that's too bad.
Okay.
That's too bad. You're
Yeah,
gonna have to
that's too
watch them
bad.
on, streaming or
That's right,
something
YouTube.
crisp and beautiful like
or
that.
in 4K or something really stupid like
Some
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Like one of the copies that we have
Those
of each
4K
movie.
VHSs.
They're big as a house. What were you saying, Mikey?
Oh no, I'm sure we have multiple copies of each of those movies that we were trying
Oh.
to get.
Oh,
I'm
good
sure.
Lord.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
No one doubts you.
I am
I
sure.
believe you.
We're talking about The Haunted. It exists out there if you want to watch it on physical media, or you can stream it in its entirety on YouTube if you'd like. Just search The Haunted 1991. It'll pop up. And this is indeed a made-for-television movie from 1991. It's unrated with a runtime of 1 hour and 40 minutes, directed by Robert Mandel, based on a book with the same name. Well, The Haunted One Family's Nightmare is the subtitle. And that was written by Robert Curran, Jack Smurl, Janet Smurl, and also Ed and Lorraine Warren. All wrote the book. The movie's based on that. This stars Sally Kirkland, Jeffrey DeMunn, Louise Latham, some other lovely folks. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. When the Smurl family moves into a duplex, they find out it's haunted. There you go.
What?
Wait, hold on.
Spoilers.
I thought this was a
It's
romantic
haunted.
comedy.
The Haunted of the Heart.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go.
Gentlemangs, perhaps a silly question. Have we seen this movie before? And would you recommend folks check it out? Mikey, kick us off, man.
Still in awe of the fact that that's all the synopsis said. I thought you were playing with us. I thought you were going to keep going.
No, I got the longer one coming in a minute, but that's all IMDb says. Yeah.
That's what she said. I'm sorry.
You always got to wait for the longer one. Honestly, I had very low expectations on this, especially being in an as seen for TV movie back in 1991. I actually enjoyed it. I actually thought it was actually kind of fun for what it was. I kind of think it was just like a Hallmark made for TV horror flick. That's what I kind of just thought of it. But no, I would recommend it. I thought it was a quick little fun watch. It kind of overstayed its welcome a little bit towards the end, but knowing now that it's kind of like a Conjuring universe movie with the Warrens in it and everything like that, I thought it was interesting. So yeah, I'd recommend it.
Hey, honey, you got some wood.
Right
Nice
on.
job.
Randeezy, what about you?
Yeah, I had not seen this or heard of this and had no clue that this existed. I also did not have great expectations, and after a pretty grueling weekend, I capped it off trying to keep my eyelids completely open for an hour and a half and wound up like circling back so much that it took me about 2.5 hours to watch this movie.
It sucks, dude. I'm sorry.
It's not a strong recommend on my part, but it is a bit of a bad beer situation for me. So I am willing to put that out there because I know that there are probably folks out there like Mikey who, really got something out of this, but I sure had a hard time getting anything out of it.
Yeah, Rainey did some traveling, was actually in Jacksonville for a day.
Like 6 hours
this
or some
weekend.
shit.
Yeah. Quick little in and out, but
Whoa.
busy weekend. Hey-o.
Heyo.
We're just innocent, man.
Juice, what about you, man?
Yeah, I'd never seen this before, never heard of it before, and I wouldn't particularly recommend it. I'm kind of like somewhere in the middle though. I was kind of like surprised by I thought it was going to be worse than it actually probably ended up being. So what I would say is this had strong 90s nostalgic vibes. Even though I had never seen it before, it feels like a 90s like you're watching 90s television, which has its own kind of charm in a kind of way. If there were like some old school commercials thrown in here, if you could cut about 10 to 15 minutes off this movie and throw in some commercials, I think that'd be pretty cool watch, honestly. So like not a strong recommend for the movie itself, but it does have like some 90s nostalgia, which can be cool. So maybe since it's on you,
put them in a cool Godzilla cup holder.
maybe since it's on YouTube, somebody can cut up a version of that or something with some fun Halloween. If it had some Halloween commercials, it'd be dope.
It's
The
not a
soju
hyper protected film.
Yeah. So we'll throw it up
Yeah.
on our YouTube now.
Yeah, why not?
Bob,
Duke. The colors.
Bob, would you recommend people check this out?
I would. Yeah, this is a very lightly a Halloween movie. At the very beginning, it's a Halloween movie. So it's a decent time to watch it. And yeah, if you grew up in the 90s, I think you're gonna have some nostalgia for like the style of this, even if you never saw the movie, just like a nostalgia for the time it came out. I definitely experienced that. And also I think Mikey and I probably did ourselves a favor and we watched this together on a Friday night and had a little whiskey while we were doing it. And it was a pretty enjoyable time. So yeah, I had fun with it and would recommend it. And there's a little bit of like history that we'll get into with trivia and stuff that sort of enhanced my enjoyment of it as well, which we'll get to all that. So it sounds like overall maybe a light recommend from us.
Medium to loose.
Medium to
Bob's
loose.
Bash.
There you
I'd
go.
place it on the loose end, but sure. Whatever makes you happy.
Looser than normal, huh?
Looser than normal. Recommend. It is on YouTube. Check it out. We're going to be spoiling the shit out of The Haunted, and here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Bob, please give us that plot synopsis.
Oh,
Please.
I got it. I did look up on eBay the paperback version of the book that this movie's based on, and it is cheap. But by the time I was gonna get it in the mail, I'd have like a day to read anything, and I was like, "That's I'm just not gonna have time to get into it." But that's also out there,
You were
really
gonna
really
read
easy
the
to
book?
find. Just like skim through a little bit, maybe find some interesting passages or
Damn.
something. I don't know,
Bob
not
is a
the
lot
whole
more
thing.
dedicated to this podcast than I am. Go ahead and tell everyone
I mean,
that right
Here,
now.
here.
I mean, I didn't do it, but you know, it's out there. All
The
right,
fact
yeah, I
that
got
you
my
That's why he
plot
gets
considered
the
it,
synopsis.
iron
Bob.
fist.
I did. Here we go. So the movie opens up with a text scroll that says this is based on true events, which also inspired a book titled The Haunted: One Family's Nightmare. We then meet the Smurl family consisting of Jack and Janet Smurl, their three kids, Mary, John, and Cora, and Janet's mother and father. They are forced to move into a duplex due to losing their house because of a big old hurricane. They move in, they meet some nice neighbors, and some strange things start happening, like a hammer seems to move on its own, and a toaster catches fire even though it's not plugged in. They become a part of their community and make the new house their home. One day, Janet's mother hears loud yelling and profanity through the walls, but Janet insists it couldn't be her and Jack because Jack was at work. Janet begins feeling hands on her in the middle of the night, but Jack is fast asleep. The final straw happens when Janet hears loud splashing in the bathtub but sees nothing when she pulls the curtain back. She finally tells Jack there's something wrong with the house and they need to move. He says they just can't afford it though. Janet then sees a dark shadow moving throughout the house, and her mother sees it as well. They go and tell the men, but the damn men just don't believe them. Janet then does the only thing left to do, and she goes to the library. She finds out their neighborhood was built on top of mines that once caved in and killed several people. She also learned that ghosts can choose when they're visible to make certain people seem insane to others. That night, Jack puts his head on Janet's pillow and hears voices, the voices that she's been talking about. A ghost then pulls the sheets off of them and grabs Janet. They finally get a priest over for dinner, and he blesses the house. We jump forward to 1985 and see a light fixture mysteriously explode and injure one of the Smurl kids. They go to the priest, but he says he just can't help them anymore because the church won't allow it. Ghosts and demons are a thing of the past. Nope. Catholic Church doesn't give a fuck. Janet learns about the ghost hunting couple Ed and Lorraine Warren, and she attends one of their lectures. She says their family needs their help. That night, Jack is what appears to be raped by a spooky ghost with a face that changes, which is fucking insane. The
That's
Warrens,
the proper nomenclature for what happened.
the Warrens come over for some homemade cake roll, and Lorraine senses three old-timey ghosts and one demon in the house. Ed films the room, and the drawers go all crazy. They go camping to escape the ghosts, and while they're gone, there's a bunch of loud screaming in the house, and the neighbors call the cops. The ghosts end up following the Smurls to the campgrounds as well. Janet calls the Warrens and says they need an exorcism. They find a priest willing to do it. The exorcism seems successful. Then Janet is thrown down the stairs, and Grandma sees the spirit again. The Smurls go to the press and do interviews in an attempt to shame the Catholic Church into sending them a proper priest. It essentially does work, and Father Kent shows up. He stays with them for a few days and sees nothing strange, so he leaves. The news reporters and curious neighbors start to get out of control, and they have to be held at bay by the men with their guns on the porch. Several people from the Sacred Heart organization show up and pray with the Smurls. They eventually move into a new house in June of 1987, but Janet still hears voices. The movie ends with another blurb that says the Smurls continued experiencing paranormal activity until a church-sanctioned exorcism finally took place in 1989. And then everything was good. There you go there. The real, true story of the Smurl haunting.
There you
Hey, can I
go.
ask you a question?
There.
Can I ask you a question? When did
Yeah.
that book come out?
1986 it was released.
Okay, so they were haunted well past the book, but like 2 years before this movie came out. I was wondering why they didn't have that in the movie. They have an extended camping scene, but they don't have that, the conclusion to the story in the movie.
Yeah, that's
Very
kind of weird, right? Weird place
Um,
to end it. Like, everything works out. It's fine.
And then
Well, I
some
don't
other
know.
things
Like,
happened.
well, I mean, I don't know. Fading out and be like, oh, you're still haunted. I mean, that's got a spooky vibe to it. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, if they are still haunted, but then it says, but then they had an exorcism. I was like, I want to see that
Well,
exorcism.
yeah, I guess
Like,
that's true. But I mean, I guess I guess the text kind of ruined that effect. But just fading out on her being like, "Fuck, we're still haunted." Like that's okay with me.
yeah, it could have been if they had been like the hauntings continued, and but like then that's fine. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
weird that they like mention in the show. It's like I understand that, like I guess that's more true, but the movie has not concerned itself with truth too much, so I don't
Yeah.
Neither
particularly
did the
find that
book
compelling.
or the real people, I don't think. So
Oh, you don't think
it's-
so, huh?
I just don't
I-
think so.
What?
Mikey, get in here. It looks like you keep
Hey.
leaning
Yeah.
in. What are you?
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, when you're given that whole synopsis, one, I looked on eBay just trying to find the DVD. I couldn't find that. I found the book, and the cover is pretty dope, and I like the yellow pages. Like, it shows how old it is, and also the algorithm along with that book. It's also offering me a headshot of the lady that played Janet Smurl. So, do you want that headshot on your wall?
Whoa.
Oh, you know it.
Dude,
I
yeah.
love Sally Kirkland. She's my favorite
Yeah.
actress.
Sally
Smurl guy.
Kirkland.
Yeah. You think she's related to Costco?
She was gorgeous. She's super fucking rich. She is the
Yeah.
Kirkland brand.
Head to toe
Good
in
for her.
Costco.
Get her
Good
to
for
sign
her.
something. You got yourself a Kirkland signature.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this movie was like kind of charming in a dated way, you know. The nostalgia goggles, I think, helped for sure when they moved into like the new neighborhood. I was like, man, if these neighbors were worth a fucking shit, they'd bring over some brownies. And the lady walks up with a plate of brownies. I was like, damn. And then they talk about like
They
joining
are
the
worth the
Lion
shit.
Club.
Damn.
Wow.
worth the
I
shit.
thought you guys
And,
weren't
like-
worth a shit.
Janet goes bowling with her friends to like blow off steam, and she's just like ripping darts the whole time, and talking about the TV guide and like the crazy fashion, and going to the library to do research with these giant maps and everything. I don't know. I just all that stuff like really had a lot of nostalgia, and I found it very charming. It all worked for me.
All right.
Yeah, it was
Added.
it was like I don't know. I feel like I respect this film a little bit more than maybe like I don't know, made for TV, but to be honest, I was pretty surprised by the rape scene. I was like, this was on television, and
I know,
that's
dude.
pretty
Yeah. It's
bold.
Explicit as shit.
Yeah.
For
Fucked
TV,
up.
especially then.
I was wondering
Um,
if the dad was really raped or not, because like I mean, obviously for TV, they can't show anything graphic. It showed the demon on top of him, but it seemed like he just got over it like really fast. Because after it happened, it's like he's like, "Hey, we have a ghost. Like, we got to get it out."
He said
That's
he
a-
was attacked by her.
I would
Yeah, he was
say
attacked.
Yeah, I would say the dad's attitude in general, I agree with you. The dad's attitude in general, because even toward the end, when the priest finally shows up, they made it seem like he was staying there for a long time until he finally says, "I've been here for 2 days." But at one point, the dad's just like laughing and watching baseball. I'm like, if I was raped by a demon and I'm at the point where I'm thinking of leveling my house, I don't think I'm just chilling and watching some baseball.
Like blow off a little steam, man.
I think
Everybody's
they
gotta
kind of
blow.
his attitude was not great for this film.
I think so.
I
yeah.
love Jeff DeMunn too. Like the actor, he's the only actor in this that I recognize from other things. He's Dale from Walking Dead. He's in The Green Mile. He's in fucking The Mist.
Mist.
Like he's a big
Mhm.
Frank Darabont guy. But like I really love him as a character actor in all of those things. And pretty much anytime I see him, it's a plus. And I think that he's delivering his lines really well. But his character is written in a very like confusing way where I can't really get a pulse on what he's thinking. So he just says what he's thinking in a given scene, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem like he has any. It's not a lot of consistency in it. It seems like I would
Yeah.
say.
I kind of felt
but his
like
plus-
I kind of felt like before he got straddled by the ghost, that I felt that he was just tired of going home to his nagging wife. Like that was more fearful to him than a ghost. Like he just wanted to sit on his recliner chair, drink a beer, and watch baseball. That's all the guy wanted to do. He didn't want
Dude,
to hear anything.
This is a very conservative coded movie, by the way. Like there's a lot
Yes.
of like
Yes.
I'm trying to remember them all because again, like I was trying to keep conscious, so like I couldn't get in on in nostalgia vibes or anything. I was just too tired. but
Mhm.
like what came across to me in that rape scene is like, okay, so this is clearly a like I think like the Smurls were involved with this movie. Like it's their story or whatever. This is clearly the Warrens version of that, which they're going to like have a unified story to make it seem more legitimate. And so I'm like, so this is the manicured version. And to me, what it says is the unmanicured version is this dude might have had a sex dream and didn't know how to deal with it. Or this dude might have stepped out on the wife and just said, "No, it was a ghost." I don't know. I don't think
Spooky ghost.
a spooky ghost that
Just
had its way with
ectoplasm, I
me.
swear.
Just
Oh,
oh
I
god.
swear. It'll wash
Just
out.
innocent, man.
I don't.
Dude, I
Yeah.
had a dream about like a demon with a face that changes rapidly, just like in this movie. It's fucked up, dude. It's
What
like one of
was
the
he
nightmares
doing?
that I remember. Dude, it was just like crouched down on the side of my bed, staring me in the eyes.
Oh
and his
goddamn,
face
that
okay.
is
Well,
terrifying.
it wasn't.
fucked
Yeah,
up, dude.
it
Yeah.
wasn't giving you a toothy beach or anything like that.
It was not, unfortunately, because I mean, what a
You
dream.
know how you like teeth.
Then sit that pumpkin
Extra.
ass in your lap.
That demon booty.
What do you call them, Max? Yabos?
But actually, I would say the performances here, I would say the mom sells most of it. There are times too, like when she's come back from the library and stuff. It's like the info dump and is not. But there are times where I feel like she's selling the like I'm scared or the desperation. And I do like how they kind of set it up where like, fuck, our house was ruined by a hurricane, and he just straight up says we can't afford to move. There's no, we literally just well, I guess that's a problem because they do have kids there. They've been living there for a while. So that doesn't seem as plausible, I guess. But I don't know. They try to root it in like financial troubles and stuff like that,
well,
which made
they do
sense.
some things. I mean, they can't move right off the bat, but they do try and send the kids away, and the ghosts follow the kids. And then when they
Yeah.
all go to the campsite, they follow them to the camp. So it seems like no matter where they are, like even the new house when they do move, like it seems like they're still there. They're just kind of latched onto this family at this point, it seems. So it does make it seem like a more dire situation, even if up front you're like, come on, dude, you fuck the money, like go, you gotta have a relative somewhere or like go do something. But eventually it seems like it doesn't matter what you do, you're just kind of fucked.
I was a little
Yeah.
surprised that the ghosts actually follow them to a campsite. I don't remember ever seeing that in a movie that, usually when you get out, like you actually get out, you get away from it, but it's always waiting for you at home. So the whole campsite scene was pretty crazy. And also too, like, remember when they were in the campsite and the neighbors were walking out and looking at the house and you just saw the lights and the screams and everything like that? That totally
Yeah.
caught me off guard for a movie like this. I didn't expect anything like that. That was pretty nuts.
That's pretty
They
freaky.
were
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
pretty solid
Yeah, that was pretty
screaming
good.
and like there was a stilted motion to the shadows or whatever that was good. The shadows themselves were like ridiculous. It was like unsolved mysteries, dramatization level stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But for the time, like this entire movie is gonna have to be graded on a made for TV in the '90s curve because like all the positives I have are positives in relation to its peers, not in relation to the litany of better movies there are in the world. So I don't know. That said though, like when I first saw the smudge that was a ghost supposedly, like I was like not impressed, but I watched it and I feel like it was like footage that they play backwards and at a weird pace so that like of a person walking through there and just like double exposed it or whatever. And it managed to give it a little bit of an ethereal quality that the digital noise that they were actually using to do like the motion was eerie, not the actual effect, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
I
I
did
get what you're
like it.
saying.
I like that aspect of it, but it's still like I had to like look at it a little bit before I could find that silver lining on that.
Yeah, that effect is probably the worst of what we see in the movie. I think they do a lot of good stuff with like in the bedroom when they have like the fog like slowly rolling in through the window, and then whenever the sheets get pulled off, and then like later on in the movie where Janet's like flying around the room and shit. Like they do a lot of freaky stuff. I think most of it works out pretty well.
That one scene where she's getting dragged out the bed and her husband is sitting there and he's like, I can't move. And each time she
Yeah.
like kind of gets closer to him, she grabs on it, but she keeps getting pulled off. It's like, this is pretty intense for a television. Like if you saw this on TV back in the 90s when like shit just wasn't available, you know, and stuff like that, and kids could be watching this, like that would be pretty fucking intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Agree.
there's a lot more eyeballs on this probably than any made-for-TV movie that would come out now, or I guess now that wouldn't really happen, but
Yeah.
just because of the sheer nature of how TV worked at the time. So yeah, that's true. I mean, they really pushed it for that medium for in that time frame. I gotta give them that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Mike, you looked like you were chiming in. Am I wrong?
No, I was just reading because I was on the Wikipedia page and seeing how it says based on a true story starting at 8 p.m. at night, probably playing on a Friday, Saturday night. So I'd imagine that this, I mean, it was either this or you're watching TGIF.
This is like a
Well,
prime time. Yeah, it was on
Or
Fox.
Cops.
It's this or Urkel.
Hell yeah.
What's pick your poison.
Hell,
This is
Urkel has some
probably-
crazy ass Halloween specials too with that crazy dummy
That's
that
true.
he made.
That
Yeah.
dummy? Yeah, that dummy rules.
That was
True.
scary. And then they did a sequel when Carl was a dummy, so they kind of tag teamed the family.
Man, haunted dummies. That was a big deal in the 90s. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's for another episode.
We're the
Um,
haunted dummies now. I think this was probably a first introduction to Ed and Lorraine Warren for a lot of folks, if I had to guess, in the 90s. I don't know that they were really like a household name. But I think that's kind of something cool that this movie does too. Like everybody is, I mean, they're like inescapable now because of the Conjuring franchise and everything James Wan was able to build out of that. But I gotta
Mhm.
imagine in '91 they were definitely less known. I think that's cool. It's kind of cool to see somebody try and do like what James Wan did long before he did, and like none of us even knew this existed somehow. Like,
Yeah.
how has it not been brought up? I don't know, but
Yeah.
I thought that was a neat thing.
I mean, I'm less. I don't know. I think it's well recorded on this podcast that I have not a lot of love for the Warrens and their grift, but
What?
I think that like
Thought
actually
they
hearing
were
it from
heroes of yours.
yeah, oh yeah, you know, my senior quote is
Randy-
"Oogity boogity, there's some spooks in the house" by Ed Warren. So,
Yeah.
Randy wears a giant fishing vest at all times because of this movie.
Oh man, he did wear that fishing vest in that movie.
he wears it.
It
he
wore
wears well.
him.
Man, he
You
was on the
never
way to
know
see
when you
the-
just need to go fishing. You know, you could be driving down the street and just
Yeah.
decide, you know, I need to get my ass out and catch some fish.
It's got
Oh,
his
shit,
ghost
I wish I had
tackle.
my lures with me. Oh wait,
I do.
I have them all.
It's got his ectoplasm be gone spray and
That's a
whatever-
beacon.
whatever.
Be gone.
That's called
Boozy.
it's called holy water, Bob. Come on, show some respect.
Yeah.
It's the holiness that makes it so thick.
With
It's-
extra
it's
holy.
so damn bliss.
That's-
It's really just lube, is what it is. That's why.
Wow,
it's so thick.
Rob, come on. This is sacrilege, buddy. It's not hot tub
Wow.
Christianity in here.
I'll allow it.
I apologize to all the
Mikey, you
Catholics listening.
Just a little lube
would
talk.
indeed.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Just a little
it-
lube talk. Well,
it-
no,
is
it's
it-
just a
is
lube
it-
talk between friends.
Is it just me too? But did Ed Warren he just looked like he just came out of the Wendy's drive-through in this movie. Like every single scene, he just looks so every time I see him and I said it to Bob, that's exact same set. Looked like he was just eating some square cheeseburgers. And then even in the last Conjuring movie, I forget the guy's name, but in that movie he was just beat up the entire movie and just hobbled, and he just seemed the whole time. I just like you just look like you just came out of a drive-through.
You know, Patrick Wilson.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat him up in that last one. That third.
Yeah,
Conjuring.
he gets his ass whooped. Yeah.
Yeah, full of sodium though. Straight out the
Yeah.
Wendy's.
They don't cut the
Yep.
corners though. Anyway,
Meat sweats. They don't
well,
cut the
actual
corners.
Ed Warren looks like neither of these people. He's was a very paunchy man with Elvis sideburns. So I mean, they did him some favors with the casting in both sets of
Mm.
depictions of him. But yeah, like what I was saying is just like I'm not inclined to like anything that the Warrens have actually put their names on, so that's kind of like a ding for me also, just because like I don't like them making money off the back of people's shit.
I don't think they're making
But
money off of this.
well,
It's
they
on
wrote
here.
it.
I'm
He
sure.
wrote it.
I'm sure
Well,
that
no,
they did.
but he
at
made it
some
at the
point,
time.
but-
They didn't
Oh, at
make
the
it
time.
free.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
they
dead
made money off of it.
now.
They're not making money
You
off
say
of
that,
it.
they
Good.
Damn.
Not making any money now, are you?
Haunt my ass, Ed. Haunt me.
I dare you. I got the holy lube ready for your ass.
The power of Christ compels you.
God dang. The holy loop. You buy that on our website now, by the way. It's
Oh boy. Anyway,
$7.77.
On our website, just go to straightchilling.com and get your holy lube.
Holy loop.
slash backslash slash backslash slash backslash 69.
Damn.
Sure.
Give me all them
Uh,
backslashes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know HTML, but that's a lot of backslashes.
Look, a lot of backshots to deal with.
I don't know
you
Java.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Extra gross this episode. It's just hyper gross.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough of that.
Them trying to get a priest to come by and like do an exorcism and having such a hard time doing it, I thought was kind of interesting. The dude that they do go to the church and speak with, it says something along the lines of like, ghosts and demons are like of the old church, not the new church. They're like trying to sort of update the Catholic Church's, I guess, appearance and like reputation to be a little less like old timey, and which is interesting to think about. Like, I don't know how long that has been a thing. Definitely seems like the case now, but like exorcisms, as far as I know, are I believe still sanctioned by the Catholic Church to some extent, but
I feel
trying
like
to get
that's
away
come up
from
in
it.
other movies. I feel like
Yeah,
even that like
yeah.
Russell Crowe movie did like shit like that where somebody's like
Oh, really?
the young hip up and coming priest or whatever is trying to move the Catholic Church into like a new I feel like it is. Yeah, I feel like that's something
Yeah.
that's come up before.
For sure. Yeah. I guess this being from 91,
Yeah, that's fair.
it's just interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that's been a thing. Maybe it's been a thing for like 100 years. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was interesting to see it in that early, I guess. Call in if you're a Catholic and let us know.
Well, I mean, I think that The Exorcist is what made exorcism a thing that people recognize. I think that exorcism's been around for a long time, but I don't think it had the profile it has now by any means until that movie came out, and then that spurred the Catholic Church to reject it and then kind of embrace it, but kind of say like, "Oh yeah, we do it, but we only kind of do it here and there." Like I don't know. It's like they're very choosy about it. They're also a political organization in their own right, so like they have to, they're not going to just like any John, Joe, or Jack that tells them that they're possessed. They're not going to go out there and fucking spray the water on them and shit.
What about
I
Jacob?
mean, Jacob, they'll do it for every time.
Got
You
it.
know?
Hose him down. Jacob gets it.
Yes, that's what a boy likes.
It's what a boy likes.
You know it.
Your
What's to
boy.
say about this movie?
There
Oh, I
was there was a bit of like a when I was watching this, I was like, yeah, it's checking the boxes. It's doing spooky light stuff, things floating around, doors opening and closing, sheets being pulled off, legs being pulled, spooky shadows. It was sort of like checking the boxes, but I think the nostalgia,
Definitely
like I
pulling some
said,
legs.
carried it a long way. But I wonder, like, if that was all sort of well worn territory in 91. Like, I probably wouldn't think it would be that familiar to a lot of people.
I mean, it's a post
I don't know.
Amityville world.
If maybe it
at
was a
this
little more
point.
fresh.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a little
I
more fresh than it is
suppose.
now. Like, we're in a post paranormal
Yeah.
activity world now, so I don't think anybody bats an eye at that stuff these days. But made for TV movie, it was. I think it wasn't inventing that for screen by any means, but I think it was definitely employing it in a way, like employing it when a lot of movies just weren't that, or it just wasn't a known trope to as many people.
Yeah, well,
that's my
also, I
guess,
mean,
anyway.
again, going back to the idea of the availability of this, and I'm not sure exactly I don't know if there was any kind of warnings or anything that came before this, whatever, but also to just the interest of, you know, like this isn't the 80s. We've moved past it a little bit, but there is still this kind of like titillizing idea of the everyday common household that's like in the 90s America is gonna be like pretty religious, or just I think that's a pretty standard understandable like household of like religion. And we you did say, you know, this is like coded in a very specific kind of way, and it is. And I imagine the people watching this and just having this is going to resonate with some people. This isn't just entertainment. Some people are going to watch this and actually feel like, yeah, this maybe not this could happen,
They're
but
gonna relate.
they're going to relate to these plain ass people that we, you know, seem very plain and boring now. But like I really could see like some people watching this in the 90s and having some real fear attached to it. Like these people, this situation, it's just like me, or you know, I don't know. I feel like that doesn't quit hit quite as hard now, you know, so many years later, where the demographic has like changed a lot. But like back in the 90s, I think that this probably did strike some real fear in a lot of viewers.
I think it definitely had to, because this is like fresh on the heels, if not still involved with like Satanic Panic era. So like people were already watching Geraldo talk about, you know, satanic worshiping
Yeah.
daycare students and shit like that. That was happening while this movie
Hell
came
yeah.
out. So like I think that's like, I think there's definitely a market for this sort of thing back then. I think that's how this got on TV, is because the Satanic Panic was so bankable for so many years for television.
Yeah.
There's money to be made in scaring the shit out of people into loving the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
need to get some of that.
Yeah.
We learned that from one of the Treehouse episodes we just reviewed. Actually, that was a whole plot point with old Ned
Yeah.
Flanders.
Heck House.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The Heck House.
Heck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
precisely.
Yeah, good money to be made in the Lord's service.
Yeah.
I need to watch that.
It's all about the money, boys.
He has a good quote in there. It was something like, "Please give me the power to shame people into loving you," or something like that.
Right? Yeah.
Hot tub Christianity.
Man, that what a line. That really sums up a lot.
It really kind of distills a certain element
Yeah.
of America, doesn't it?
But yeah, I would say that like maybe with, like I said, if this movie were the part where the Warrens come in, it's kind of disappointing. Even when they do the exorcism, I thought everything leading up was better, and they just they do a couple of the fade outs of like, yeah, this is TV, but they just didn't handle the kind of ending well, or it just felt like it never really led to anything. And I
Mhm.
feel like if they were able to
Yeah.
cut some from this movie, if you were able to watch it with some fun Halloween commercials, and I don't know, that some exorcism scene was played out a little longer, then actually this would be like a pretty fun little watch. But it does hit a little flat, because I feel like I have enough to be invested in these characters. I think the mom sells it pretty well, and even having the parents, and they're always like, "Oh, the mom's heart is weak," or whatever. I'm like, "Fuck that, let's move. She can handle it. Just go sit in the library while we move. It's not that big of a fucking deal. Jesus Christ."
It does kind of feel like the third act almost never comes. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
great way of putting it.
So
they,
that's
they like get
disappointing.
settled in, and like the weird stuff kind of starts to happen. The hardcore spooky stuff happens. They get an exorcism, you know, turns out it doesn't work. And then when like the shit's really supposed to hit the fan, they move, and then they're like, yeah, everything worked out in the end. You know, it just doesn't quite have
They
that
really gloss.
crescendo of a third act.
There's no
They're still
climax,
like,
really.
you know,
We're
whatever.
still haunted.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Nothing resolves except
For
in
sure.
a postscript, and that's just disappointing as shit like no matter how you're watching this. I agree that like if you're like carving pumpkins and just have this run in the background with commercials in it that are all like spooky McNugget commercials or whatever the fuck, then that can be kind of
Wendy's.
fun. But I don't want to like sitting down and actually trying to pay attention to it when my body wants to refuse me any sort of consciousness so badly.
Yeah.
It was very hard for me.
It's tough.
It was
Yeah,
because
that
it's
is
not
tough.
it's not very stimulating. It's more
Mhm.
atmospheric. It's got the
Right.
retro TV music and the kind of like it. Yeah, if it's just on in the background, then it provides a fun kind of vibe. But yeah,
You gotta,
the story
if
is
you want to like
great.
be properly stimulated, you got to get the warming holy water. That's what I've
Oh,
heard.
yeah.
Well, that's going in the that's going in the fucking compendium, the clip show. That line right there.
Where is it going?
It's going wherever I
yeah,
say
yeah, I
it's
got
going.
you.
It's going there.
It's going.
You know where this is
It's-
going? I might
it's-
tell you where this is going.
It's going in.
It's going somewhere.
Look,
It's
some people just can't
going
handle
in-
anticipation. It's really sad, honestly.
That build up, dog.
Don't leave
Sometimes
me
you just
hanging
gotta
on
bust.
I'm like, well,
edge.
shit, where's this going?
Yeah.
Fuck, I gotta know.
What's he gonna say? Yeah, see, gotta leave him wanting more.
Randy's got me in the palm of his fucking hand right now.
Fuck, is it gonna be an ass joke or where are we going with this? Okay.
Where is it going?
That's a bankable presupposition for sure that it's going to be an ass joke.
In
Yeah.
the ass.
Okay, we're going somewhere.
All right, you guys probably had time to take bets before I got there.
All right, boys, where's it going? Come on, where are we thinking it?
I got five
I got
on
five
ass
on the
joke.
ass.
Yeah, I was thinking ass.
Yes, is the
Um,
obviously favorite.
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
It's always the favorite.
Everyone's favorite orifice, the ass. Boys, any other major things you want to touch on before we rate this bad boy? Nada.
We
I
already
don't
touched on
think
the ass.
so.
So.
Yeah, we did touch the ass. All right, let's go ahead and do it then. Out of 5, Michael, why don't you kick us off? How do you feel?
Like I said, it exceeded expectations, which is always a good thing. It's a like we said, it's an ass scene for TV movies, so it's don't expect the world at all. But it was still a fun watch. I'll give it a fastball right down the middle and give it a 2.5.
All right.
2.5 from Michael. Randisi, how do you feel?
Oh, significantly worse than that. So I think like what I said.
Oh, be
this movie
nice.
Had a lot. I'm going to, and this is the thing is like I don't want to like always when somebody picks a movie for us in particular, I feel like bad shit talking it or being like real rough with it because ultimately like clearly they picked it for a reason. I assume it's because they love it, they have nostalgia glasses for it, whatever. And I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. Please enjoy this movie. Like I just personally like. I don't think that I would have been super keen on this movie in the best circumstances, and I was not in the best circumstances. I was already like predestined to not like an aspect of this because it's Warren related, and I just have an anti-Warren predisposition. It's dated and stuff like that, like which can work against it or for it if you put on the nostalgia goggles. But I was also in a position where the nostalgia goggles just weren't working for me. They couldn't work for me. So I had kind of like multiple things working against it. Some of it was the movie's fault, some of it wasn't. So ultimately though, like I don't want to like give this like a 0 or anything like that. But for me, this viewing, there's room to grow if I watch it more alert and with a better disposition. But like, it's a 1 star for me ultimately. Like, and I don't want to take anything away from anybody who likes it, but ultimately this is just not. It's just got too much working against it for me.
Solid 1 star from your boy Randu. Juice, how do you feel?
Yeah, a little warmer than that, but not much to be honest. Because also too, a lot of things I'm like kind of working up in my mind about like, yeah, this would make it better. This would be more fun, but that doesn't exist. Like this with it would be pretty easy to put together probably, but I mean, it doesn't exist with the commercials or whatever. But also I am trying to imagine it in the context that it came out, which to be fair, like this coming out on TV in the fucking 90s. If you watch this as an adult or a kid in this time, I think it would be effective. And to be fair, in this time now, watching it, I'm pretty shocked at some of the things that it includes. The rape scene, like we were saying, that kind of camping scene. There is some spooky stuff going on here that I think is still effective, which is pretty surprising, removed from so much time. So I think most of it is just like we said, the third act doesn't really ever come, and then a lot of the acting is just very plain. There's not a lot of emotion going on, and then just it kind of just fizzles out with the press showing up and stuff. I don't think that was like the best way for them to go. So yeah, ultimately, I think I'll give it a 2. I think if you threw in some commercials and it was like edited a little bit differently, I think it could reach the heights of a potential 2.5. But as it is now, I think a 2 is fine. Bob, out of 5, where are you gonna rate this guy?
I'm a little warmer than y'all. I think this, considering this is made for TV 1991 movie, in that it had anything that even like remotely got to me, that anything I remotely found spooky, I think is kind of saying a lot. And there was at least a handful of things that really did kind of freak me out. The screaming shadows, like really, I thought that was a great effect, super simple. They didn't have to try and stretch themselves too much with what I'm sure was a limited budget. The like moving shadows like throughout the kitchen and the living room, like that's definitely the worst shit. I think they did kind of try and stretch outspin what they had. But the rape scene was just like very, very shocking. I definitely didn't expect anything like that out of this movie. And it definitely had some like nostalgia vibes that were hitting for me pretty good. Given that we've seen like I don't know, countless haunted house movies like this, dozens and dozens of them, like it still wasn't very boring, even though it was kind of like checking everything off that you sort of expected it to. I don't know. I just kind of was engaged throughout. It does have a flat ending or a complete lack of any sort of conclusion, really. It's like they chose the first 3 or 4 chapters of the book or something, and then like made that, and they're like, "Well, that's our time, that's all we got." But overall, I kind of dig it for what it is. I think there's more good than bad. So I'm gonna go with just a 3 flat on this, and that's gonna put our aggregate at a 2.1. And as is per usual around these here parts, when you guys pick a movie for us to review, you are welcome to send over an email or a voicemail with your own ratings and thoughts on the movie. And Gabriel did send over an email for us. Do you have that pulled up, Juice?
I do. Here we go. Hello again, Straight Chilling. The Haunted is a hard movie to rate this time around because when I first saw this as it aired, because I first saw this as it aired in 1991. I was very young and found it pretty scary. I probably watched it again 15 years later and found it not as scary, but still creepy and effective. I rewatched it again 2 years ago and found it kind of funny, but hey, that only means that the gentle mangs will make this episode very entertaining. I'd say that the first 50 minutes of this movie still hold up. And with the full screen format and the VHS quality, it helps keep make it seem more like a found footage to me. The TV low budget special effects aside, the film has enough ghost story drama to keep it from being boring. The rape scene is very unfortunate but funny? Question marks. And I'm reading it as it is. And Dale from the Walking
You made
Dead,
that up, didn't you?
Dale from The Walking Dead yelling at a pillow is also funny. The Warrens causing the dresser drawers to open and close is also very funny. All I did not think was funny. It's something I didn't think was funny years and years ago. Things that I like. Things I like are the daughter's involvement. I feel the anger and frustration of the dad when he starts yelling, "Where are you?" towards the end, and love when he and his father grab their rifles to hold back the media. That was ridiculous.
Man.
When he's like, "Pray for me, because that's the only way I'm not gonna murder someone." I was like, Jesus Christ.
America.
Hours after, when the light fixture falls in the kitchen, gets me because I can't imagine as a parent or as a child on a rainy night having to walk back and sleep inside the house after that occurred. I still like this movie even with all its cheesiness and Conjuring vibes. If you didn't watch this at the time in 1991 or at a young age, you probably won't find it creepy at all. For what it is, though, 3.25 stars.
He mentioned like the funny moments, and that made me think of one that I forgot to mention. Which, tell me if you guys thought this was weird too. When they were camping, one of the girls was making a special order marshmallow for the granddad, and his order is crispy on the outside and runny in the middle. Have you guys ever eaten a runny marshmallow?
I mean, I would describe it as gooey.
Yeah,
but-
not
I mean,
running.
it doesn't run. Like it doesn't like
Yeah,
drip
gooey.
really.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
eggs run.
yeah,
not marshmallow.
runny
Yeah, it's just-
eggs.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'll have my marshmallow over easy, please. Like that's what it sounded
Sunny
like.
side up,
It was
marshmallow.
very strange, but yeah, there's some like, kind of like minor comical moments like that in here.
Do it again, child. It's not runny.
I need it running.
Ugh.
Thanks for picking this week's flick, Gabriel. Definitely an
Thanks,
interesting one, something we'd never heard of before. Sneaky Halloween movie too, so perfect time for it. Randy, is there a Rotten Tomatoes for this? Did you look?
There is a Rotten Tomatoes, just
Oh.
the user score, so we
Oh.
can do that.
Let's do it, man.
Sorry, there's a glitch here. Greetings and welcome to the Rotten Tomatoes segment of the show, where I'm going to have these gentlemen guess within the best of their abilities what the users, and just the users, rated the film The Haunted, collecting their and aggregating their positive scores into a percentage point. We're going to only use the poop meter, the popcornometer, for this episode. There is not enough. It doesn't look like there's any critical reviews available, so it's all users. I guess that makes sense for the time.
We're
and
the
format.
first.
We're the
first.
critics.
We're the first legitimate critics to review. No. So there are
No.
250 plus ratings on the poopometer. I'm going to start, as we always do, with our esteemed guest, Mikey. There are 250 plus ratings. What percentage would you say are positive ratings?
Oh, if it's only them rating this, I'm gonna guess this is, someone like our friend here who requested you guys to review this movie, and he said 3.25. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say 61%.
61 percentile. All right. I like your logicking there. Soji, why don't you bring up the middle here? What are you feeling for this?
Did it say how many oozers, Randy? I forgot.
250 plus.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, why would you get on to Rotten Tomatoes just to shit on this? Like, you gotta be invested in some way. But yeah, I still think it's gonna be capped. I think I'll take the slightly under there. I'll go 55.
Okay, all right.
55.
Bob, how about you?
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be even lower than that, and I think is gonna be the safer bet. So I'll take a 50.
A 50, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we got a 50 from Bob, 55 from Soju, and a 61 from Mikey.
Ooh, I'm the meat
Um,
today, boys.
You are the meat.
Just how you like
and-
it.
Award-winning meat.
What?
I'm about to find
Huh?
out if I win. I'm waiting. I was
The award of
I was
trying to
not
build
Rotten Tomatoes.
anticipation of the reveal.
God, you just speak your mind. Damn, dude. Come on. Beat around the
Yeah.
bush.
I'm on an
All
edge
right.
here.
So the correct answer is only 4 percentage points away from one of you. And that person is Mikey, esteemed guest, is going to take this one 65%.
Hot
Oh,
damn.
man.
Good job, buddy.
I'm the winner
Nice.
of the Dave's Double Double.
That's
No.
that's right. Winner, winner, double, double. That's what the saying. How the saying goes.
You won the
Hell
meat
double
sweats.
double. Is that
The Dave's Double Double.
Dave's?
from Wendy's.
Ah,
Yeah.
double
Hell
dip.
Dave.
You're really going for that Wendy's sponsorship. I can see it. You want those free Frosties for life.
Man, I see the guys
do
at
I.
work. They get Wendy's every Monday. So I
Damn.
saw it today. And it looks delicious, but I don't partake in the Wendy's Monday.
Dude, I can't
Oh,
tell you the
man.
last time I ate at a Wendy's. They don't have Wendy's in Korea, and like I don't seek it out when I go back to the States. God, it's
What
gotta
a
been
godless hellhole.
like maybe like 10 years since I've had some Wendy's. That's crazy.
But where do you get your square burgers?
Yeah.
Does Wendy's-
you got to get
isn't
your
that
square burger
Crystals?
somewhere.
Does Wendy's
dude.
have
Well,
square
they
burgers?
both do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wendy's?
Wendy's doesn't cut corners.
Yeah, they're not small,
Yeah.
but they're
Really?
squared.
I don't even
Yeah.
remember that. Damn.
God damn. Dave Thomas is spinning.
You've
his
been
wheels.
gone too long.
All I remember is the Frosty. And then
You
you
got
got
the
Lost
shape
touch
of the
with your
meat.
roots,
I've got
son.
chili, right? Chili and Frosties.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
hot
they,
and
they
cold.
sure do.
They
Yeah,
got the
there you
taters
go.
too. Don't forget about the taters now.
Do they? Oh god.
Oh
Do they still
yeah.
have the tater? Oh no, we did talk. We asked about that, and they
Like
do
a
have the
baked
taters
potato?
still. Yeah.
Baked
Yeah.
Taters. Yeah.
Oh.
They got them.
They used to
If
have
you
a
want 'em, they got 'em.
buffet. Do you remember
They
that?
did.
No.
And
I
the
was
the
salad bar.
sunroom.
You
That's
don't know.
yeah.
I am
anything
not
about
a Wendy's
Wendy's.
aficionado.
You've forgotten where you came from.
I used to know.
Do you know what a buffet is anymore?
God damn. Do you even put gravy on everything anymore? Where's all your
Does-
ranch dressing coming from?
Does all you can eat do anything for you? Anything?
Yes, it makes me sick.
Well, that's the intended
Hit my
effect.
pants.
Yeah, it blows out my bow.
Oh, that's
So plump, so right.
Randy. That's it for the Rotten Tomatoes.
No, I can read a couple of reviews here. There are only like 3 stars and above written out
Damn.
anyway for
Okay.
this. So I'm going to read the first one on here. Here's how it reads exactly as is written. Okay, it shows its age, but my God, this is definitely question mark 1/2 1/2 1/2 1/2 1/2 1/2 the Lost Conjuring movie question mark 1/2 1/2 1/2 1/2 ad nauseum, and then oh my God, I was so surprised. 5 stars. That's what's written. That is what's written.
Jesus Christ. The
What?
Lost Conjuring movie.
Somebody has formatting issues.
Ah!
That's a 5-star review, y'all. All right, one more, just a complete random here. Okay, Janet? Question mark? Oh my God, this movie is so friggin' scary. Really, I'm easily frightened, but to know the movie is based on a true story and everything just make it more scary. And the fact that the actors are not Hollywood stars just make the movie feel more real. Those pauses are air quotes for our listeners.
Got it.
That's a
Is in
3.5
8th
star
grade.
review. What's that?
Janet is in 8th grade.
This is
She's never
like I think they're
she's
quoting
never
the-
seen a horror movie, I think. Oh, the ghost. Oh,
Yeah,
Janet.
there you go.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
let's just call that a day because there is holy shit. There's a review on here that's many paragraphs and we don't
Nah,
want
no,
No.
you know.
that.
no.
All right, let's get into trivia because there's a lot.
Is there? All right.
Interesting.
It's totally time for trivia.
Yeah, I got some trivia. Most of this is about like the quote real haunting of the Smurl family. The movie.
Oh,
Babo.
Oh, he's been
No.
having trouble all. He's been having trouble all episode. Wait, is Randy
He's
still
cooking
there?
right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just hoping that Bob clears up. He's probably gonna drop and come back in a minute.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, isn't that a shame?
I'm just gonna text him just
You
so
know,
he
it's
knows.
just-
First though.
Oh nope. Whoa. The ghost didn't want us to cover trivia.
Oh God, the Warrens.
It's hiding
The
something.
Warrens.
Hello.
Well,
Can you
Hey.
hear me?
hey, there you are.
Dude, that was
Hi there.
weird. I did nothing. You guys
Oh, really?
Oh, no,
vanished
no,
and
it's
then came
you.
back all on your own. I did nothing.
Oh.
Okay.
Disappeared on us, my
Weird.
guy.
Yeah, you
Don't give
froze, and then we talked shit about you for a little while, and then you kind of just came back.
Did
And now we're talking
what
shit about
what
you again.
was the last thing you heard that I said?
Nothing.
You were
Like
just launching
trivia.
into it's like the Smurl family, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like most of them are about the Smurl
Just
family.
start trivia again.
Yeah, let's just do it a second time.
Like we heard.
Okay.
nothing.
Oh, he might be frozen again. Okay,
Nope.
never mind. Okay. Shit.
No, that's just Bob.
That's just Bob. Lifeless, limp Bob. They
Frozen
call him.
Bob. They call me Frozen Bob.
Emotionless, frozen, vanilla.
Cold, icy Bob.
Jesus Christ.
Damn. You're just plain and simple, brother.
As simple as a frozen screen.
Bob
Yeah.
is best
We all know how
served
simple that is.
cold. Okay. Trivia. We got a fuckload of trivia. Let's do it. Lorraine Warren plays a reporter that faints, falls her ass down in this movie, and the movie itself was shot over 22 days. It was based on a book called The Haunted, One Family's Nightmare, which was written by the Smurls, the Warrens, and Robert Curran. And Robert Curran was a Scranton newspaper writer. The book itself was published in 1986. The Smurl family moved into a double block house on Chase Street in West Pittston, Pennsylvania in August of 1973. They claim that the premises were disturbed by a demon that caused loud noises and bad odors, threw their dog into a wall, shook their mattresses, pushed one of their daughters down a flight of stairs, and physically and sexually assaulted family members on several occasions. Because of this, they sought out the Warrens for some help in 1986. So they endured about a decade worth of haunting allegedly in that house before they found the Warrens. There's a Professor Paul
Probably
Kurtz
would have
from the
moved.
right.
A
But this is all
decade?
real. This all really happened. Okay?
I mean,
100% real.
maybe a year to get my finances in order.
Yeah.
If a ghost
Yeah.
is diddling me, then I think
What
I
have
can
been out?
lose
For
some
a
money.
Decade.
I, I don't like that it said repeatedly.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Professor Paul Kurtz of the State University of New York at Buffalo, who was also the then chairman of the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal, said the Warrens weren't objective, independent, or impartial investigators, and characterized the Smurls' claims as, quote, a hoax, a charade, and a ghost story. Kurtz said the family's claims were possibly due to delusions, hallucinations, or brain impairment, and advised that they submit themselves to psychiatric and psychological examinations. Jack Smurl once told a newspaper reporter he had, quote, surgery to remove water from his brain in 1983 because he had been experiencing short-term memory loss due to a case of meningitis in his youth. So maybe there was some shit going on there. The
That's
home
cool.
was blessed. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, that was pretty harsh. I would think, like, I don't know. That's,
It is.
like, I agree with the stated facts of some of the things he's saying. It probably was some, I don't know, people, you see ghosts. They said this on Red Letter Media on that thing recently, where it's like they need some attention, or they have some sort of mental block or something like that that makes them believe what they're seeing is something other than what it is, or whatever. I think that's definitely at least mostly true. But goddamn, you're talking about like people, man. You cannot be such a dick about it.
Your brain is fucked up. I think they just wanted some money, honestly, and I think they
That's
probably got
also
some.
a thing. Desire for money is a big motivator for
It's a
seeing
big
ghosts.
motivator.
Ooh,
The
boys, I'm
home
getting
was
haunted
blessed.
these days.
Oh my god!
Somebody send me checks.
Somebody, some specters diddling my bee.
The only thing that'll
Sign
stop it
up
is
on
your money.
OnlyFans now.
Ooh, it's just me sitting
You
in the
just-
chair.
Oh,
Your
there he
ass
is
is-
again.
Oh,
Better get my
Your
holy
ass
water.
is getting
boys.
slapped,
Oh,
but it's by
God.
ghost.
Uzi.
oh God!
Who wants me
my
to send this
holy
ghost
water.
away with my holy water?
My extra thick
Let me
holy
see those
water.
tips.
You see those tips. God
It's
damn.
thick with holiness.
The only thing to keep this demon away from a bee is some of this holy water.
You
Better
gotta protect
rub
your
it
holes
on.
with the holy.
Damn.
God damn.
You're holy fans.
I was
have to-
just
you-
taking
you-
a moral high road like 3 minutes ago, Max.
Yeah, we gotta bring it back down. We can't be doing any of
you,
that.
you have to give the ghost something to watch. You gotta give him a reason to stay around.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
no,
want
I'm
more.
covered in ectoplasm. Yeah.
Yes, that's what a boy likes.
The home was blessed by several priests who said they saw no harmful activity while on property. Janet Smurl claimed an unidentified priest performed 3 unsuccessful exorcisms and that the demon avoided the rites by moving between the double block home and following the family to other locations. In 1986, a priest from the local diocese spent 2 nights at the Smurl home and said nothing unusual happened during his stay there. The book that came out was criticized as having no empirical evidence, and Curran, however you say it, was specifically criticized by his colleagues for having a lack of journalistic integrity. Also in Precisely. Also in 1986, the pastor of Immaculate Conception Parish in West Pittston, Reverend Joseph Adonisio, said the Smurls felt that after intense prayers, things just went back to normal and everything was fine. After the Smurl family moved to Wilkes-Barre, Deborah Owens moved into the former Smurl home in 1988, and she told reporters nothing supernatural ever happened when she was there. So there you go. The
All
trivia.
right.
There you go.
The
Sounds
trivia is,
believable.
this is contentious. Who knew?
Who would have thought?
Some of
but
those
just-
sounded like they were written by like somebody on the fucking like Amazing Atheist subreddit or some shit like that. Like it's like,
I'm an
some
amazing
shit
atheist.
posters that yeah, I don't know. It's just
I-
very mean spirited.
I want to know how many cigarettes were smoked in this movie or in the filming of this movie. Because they were just ripping those things just left and right in this movie.
They were
The 90s,
chain
you still,
smoking.
you still had smoking
Yeah.
and non-smoking restaurants.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Even
I've
at the
heard.
Wendy's. Yeah.
Even at the
4,000
Wendy's.
darts were harmed during the filming of this made-for-TV
Damn.
movie.
That's a lot of
Um,
darts.
All right, let's talk Cooter of the Week.
Let's do that.
Straight chillin'. Cooter of the week.
Juice, what is a Cooter and why do we hunt them?
Oh, Cooter's a character type in a straight shine exclusive. Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a Cooter, but we want the Cooter with the most points. The 5 points of Cooterdom are sexual deviancy, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall look and attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, do we have a Cooter this week?
Did we already convict Ed and Lorraine Warren? I think
Probably,
The real-
like
the
every
real-
time.
If we
people?
didn't, it's
probably.
high
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I mean-
there was not. I don't know. They're played so meticulously straight in this movie that it be
Yeah.
within the terms of the film, the logic of the movie. I don't see it. But
Oh yeah, no, I meant the real folks. Yeah, in the movie they're
Oh, yeah.
like they seem legit. They're trying to help and like, terrible things are happening in the house and yeah, they're fine. They're, doing what they can to help. Context of the movie is the ghosts, I guess, are rapey and
That's what I would
manipulating because
say.
they're impersonating other people's voices and stuff.
yeah, that's true.
Janice.
They're pathetic because they won't get the fuck out.
I was even if we want to talk about like for a while, the husband like just kind of treat his wife not like shit, but he's just kind of like
Brushing it off like
that womanly hysteria.
he's got a
She's
touch
got-
of the war in her
of
again.
course,
you
the
know?
war.
You need to take some rest. Have a little fun. Like,
Well,
I
even
am
he, like,
crying
flies off
to
the
my
handle, like,
husband right now.
I just want to go. You grab a beer and come home without getting some bullshit or what. I don't know. He freaks the
Yes,
fuck
some
out. It's like,
bullshit.
damn,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
But
That's what
so
Finer share.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I don't know. I guess that's not.
He kind of comes around eventually.
Yeah,
like
I
he
mean,
does
well,
that,
after
but-
he gets raped, right? Or when does he finally come
Oh,
around?
it's after he listens to a pillow.
Oh, the
Pillow
pillow.
whispers,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he
That was
felt
what
her
got
leg.
him.
Remember, her leg was getting all
Oh,
Yeah,
cold.
what?
yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That was so funny, actually. The way he was feeling her leg by like propping his leg up there. He just
That
did
was
it more
pretty
than
funny,
once.
actually,
I was,
yeah.
What the fuck are you
I do
doing?
feel it. Yeah. That was pretty
Wow!
funny.
Hold on. Let me feel it a little closer. Oh yeah. Oh, I
Let me
feel
turn
it.
around here. Let me try a
Oh, my-
different
oh, my
position.
God. Oh yeah, I feel
no,
it
we gotta
now.
do that.
Let me
Bruce
feel
Lee
it
holy
over
water
here.
thing.
Let's feel it. Let's feel it on the kitchen counter.
Hey, honey, can you bless my asshole?
Let me
Bring the
slip
holy
these
water.
PJ pants off real quick. Let me see if I can still feel it.
Oh, I believe in ghosts. I believe in
Ghosts
ghosts.
or swingers.
I believe now.
I believe.
Oh, I'm a believer, boys.
I want to believe. I want to believe, baby. I want to believe.
Yeah, those PJ pants in the '90s too. They had easy access. And right in the middle, it's had a little button in the middle that just kept it secure.
Oh,
The asshole flap
yeah.
would just come.
That's
No, not
like
the asshole
rock, or
flap.
That's like
I'm
We're
talking
not
about the
1800s
dog.
prospectors.
yeah, the
Yeah.
90s when we were panning for gold.
Not the 1890s.
Man,
Talking
I
about
mean,
the front, dog.
sometimes you gotta shit, but it's cold and you don't want to expose your legs.
You're right. You
I
know
get
what?
it.
We didn't take
we
into
don't
us Floridians didn't take into account the Alaska of it all, I
Pennsylvania,
guess.
you know.
Yeah,
Come on.
we don't shit in outhouses anymore.
Anymore.
Whoa,
Not-
big
well,
money,
only for
Mikey
recreation.
over
It's been a
here.
couple years since those days.
Indoor plumbing.
I sprung for that
Okay.
I
indoor
know.
plumbing.
I have a good
Live in the
working
high life
commode.
now.
Oh boy.
I can take a poop and nothing.
I poo.
Oh yeah, is there a
Take a
cooter in this
poo.
movie?
I guess
I think
not.
it's the ghosts.
Yeah, I
The
mean, I know
ghost is the
They
best
look like
thing.
smudges. They look like
They-
smudges. Their
Well,
appearance is
yeah, when she
stupid.
does see him, they got the old timey clothing on, so that's pretty outdated, you know.
Psh, I mean, I guess they do
The-
have clothes. Sexual,
one
so
ghost-
sexual deviant,
Yes.
manipulation. Because
Yeah,
okay, if you
yeah.
take the demon, sexual deviance for the diddling, the manipulation
Mm-hmm.
of manipulating the other ghost.
Well,
And the family.
manipulating, and manipulating
Yeah.
the family into thinking they're crazy.
Yeah.
and not
Specifically,
showing
the
itself.
wife is crazy. Yeah, all that was like calculated, for sure.
Yeah, it's a conniving ghost for sure. So it's got those two. What else do we got?
But then I guess that's it.
Arrogance, like I
It's
guess
kind of hard to
like,
have a cooter for a made for TV movie, especially back then.
They did have a rape scene, to be fair. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's heavy weighted on that.
yeah,
Yeah, the flashing lights and the changing the faces is pretty nuts.
no, it's
Yeah.
weird.
It also
Yeah, if we
just like
wanted,
caused an. Sorry, go ahead.
if we wanted to give him a tire, that's 3, but that is kind of like, you know, whatever.
We're
It's a
stretching
stretch.
it here. We're
Stretching it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
think the manipulation is high and the sexual deviance is certainly high, but
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think we
So-
get much.
They
uptick
get
in
off
the
on a
other ones.
technicality. I mean, you know,
God damn.
Yeah.
The system's
that's how it
broken.
goes. The system is break. We need to have complete authority to lock
That's
anyone
right.
It's
up
the
with it.
only way to ensure
We
you're
have to
safe.
suspend habeas corpus for cooters.
I'll give
You
the
guys
power
agree,
back
right?
eventually. So go ahead
When
and
you're
give it to
safe.
me.
You can trust me on this.
Guys, you can trust me. It's Soju.
It's
Come
me.
on.
It's your boy.
Your boy.
You've seen
It's your
my
boy.
Holy fans. You know what
Is I
I'm
is
about.
or is I ain't shaboy.
You know I'm all about the holiness. buddies. You can
He's
trust
like-
me.
You can buy my lube. I mean, holy water on our website.
Not safe for consumption. Latex
Is
byproducts
I
involved.
ate shaboy is the best thing that's ever been said on this show. All right, no cooter this week. What else do we do? Let's talk about what we've been
What else
watching.
do
boys.
we do? Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
What you want?
Hey gang, what you been watching?
This is usually the part in the episode where Bob hands us each a crisp $5 bill.
Oh yeah.
Bob, ding, 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 ding.
$5 bill.
Here's your fiver, boys. Randy, what you been watching? I will be right back, but keep talking. What you been watching, Randy?
Bob's gonna go bust that load. All right. For me, I don't remember if I brought this up last week or not, but I did rewatch Trick or Treat, which was very fun. I've only grown to like that movie more and more over the years. I was not the biggest fan of it to begin with, so like it was kind of a big Rubicon for me to cross, a big threshold for me to be like,
Well.
actually, this movie's kind of rules.
Glad you came
And
around,
that's when we've
Randy.
grown. I came around. I also went on my extended long fucking trip, road trip that I took on Saturday.
I didn't even
Down
know
to
you were
Florida.
traveling. Goddamn.
Yeah, I had to do a fucking. It doesn't matter. I had to do a not particularly fun journey that was made fun because I got to hang out with Bob and Alice a little bit. But on the road, also, I took up a recommendation. I think the librarian made this recommendation of an audiobook called The Troop. I think the writer's name is Nick Culver, if I'm not mistaken. And I've got a couple hours left on a 10-hour or 11-hour playthrough, and I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed it quite a lot. It's like very like like this is not a spoiler because it's like on its face about this. It uses a William Golding quote at the beginning from Lord of the Flies, so it's very Lord of the Flies inspired, but it's a little bit more gruesome than that, and more pulpy, and got some silliness to it, but also got some pretty good horror stuff to it, some bleakness, which I always like a little bleakness in horror. It's pretty good, and I'm excited to hear the ending of it. I'm excited to hear the ending of it. Very close to the end on that, and that will be one of like 2 books I've read this year.
Dude, that's
Good
2
for
more
me.
than me.
Literate
guy.
Randy, they call me.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah,
A librarian reads like 100 a week or some shit. So,
dude.
I've been rewatching. I mentioned this for a couple weeks. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I've been throwing on episodes here and there. It's on all on YouTube, and it's fucking fun. It's fun. It's very fun. I also watched an episode. I didn't write this down. An episode of Goosebumps. They were doing like a 24-hour just stream of episodes out, like all episodes of Goosebumps or something on repeat on YouTube. So I watched an episode of that the other day. The one where they're at a summer camp and kids keep going missing. And I had never seen it before, and it was weird, but also the production on that is so much higher than the episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark I was watching. It's crazy. Like the amount of production that they threw at that was so much higher. Also, and this is when the fun part of the trip, when I was at Bob's place, we busted into the VHS collection, and we watched
Hell yeah.
Joyride on VHS,
Damn.
starring Paul Walker, Steven Zahn, and Lily Sobieski. I think that's how her last name said. And we paid very little attention to it and drank and talked a lot. And but it was playing in the Tiki Bar, and we watched it.
Randy,
And in
be
addition to
honest.
that-
What is that? What is that VHS collection looking like?
It's a full rack right now. Just
It's a
about
Full
a full
shelf.
rack.
Yeah.
It's been just like a
Yep.
couple weeks since he announced that he was buying those things.
Yeah, and here's the thing that surprised me. They're not all just thrift store finds or like movies that are sought out
no,
from
of
that are
course not.
nostalgic. No, these are new releases
Premium.
on VHS.
Yeah.
New releases. And
Mhm.
that's what we watched next, Late Night with the Devil on VHS,
Yes.
which was kind of fun to see in that format. I'm terrified to know how much it costs, but I don't need to. That's not my purview.
Terrified.
Anyway, and huh?
Terrified.
And I was
I am
laughed
terrified.
at when I said that Bob could afford a houseboat with all. I was mocked. I was ridiculed.
In the
Who's
streets.
laughing now?
The streets of Seoul, people threw their used diapers at me. And
God damn.
What the fuck? Okay, I don't know what that was, but I think it's just so funny that like since we got the physical media guys on here, I think it's so funny the VHS thing and the cassette tape thing. Like I understand nostalgia and all that stuff, but goddamn, like it's not like vinyl where the people are going back because there's higher fidelity. It is definitively worse in every conceivable way except for your nostalgia lens. I don't get it.
True.
I don't get it. But I am happy to enjoy the fruits of your labor there, Bob. So
I got
congrats
to do
to
it
me, I
specifically
guess.
for what we just used it for. I found this tiny little TV with like a built-in VCR, and I wanted to put it in the tiki bar and just have like tapes running, just while hanging out with folks. That's why. No, I mean most of
Yeah,
this shit
I
that we
mean-
get is like cheap off eBay, but yeah, the new stuff is not.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
bought you one, so I'm part of the problem. I got Bob a gift of Blood Rage on
You
VHS, and
did.
I thought it
Whoa.
was going to be the only one in your collection, and then I showed up and there's a fucking shelf.
It's really all your fault. I'll fire that up for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I haven't
You
watched that one
should.
yet.
You got to find
It's
out if
gonna
it's
be fun.
cranberry sauce or
I'll
not.
go on the hunt for some South Korean VHSs then. Now I know what to be on the lookout for.
Thanks.
Bobby gotta get that
You're a real
region-free
friend.
They're so
VHS
big though, I can only bring back
combo.
like 3 of them though. My
Oh, that's it. Then
suitcase.
don't bother. I need 50 out of you or nothing.
Just a whole suitcase of VHSs.
Mikey,
Damn.
Mikey, what
fucking
have
awesome.
you been watching?
I've been watching some shit. I'm trying to think. On Friday night when we watched this movie, we had like a little triple feature that night, and we watched this, the Friday the 13th remake, and Dirty Work.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Some throwbacks.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I've
Son of a
I was
bitch
watching.
bastard. Great. Great line.
Dirty Work is awesome. It holds up, man. It's great.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I started watching Sinister this morning when I woke up. I haven't seen that since the theater, and I just remember that was one of the worst theater experiences I've ever had, and I never watched that. I always hated it because of that experience. But after all these years and watching it now, it's actually a pretty solid movie. Like I'm actually really enjoying that. I tried watching the Leatherface movie that came out like 10 years ago. I watched like 15 minutes of that movie. That movie's a pile of trash. It's
Yeah.
really bad.
I think it's the worst in the franchise, in my opinion. It's terrible.
Yeah, like 100%.
Is that the Do Your Thing Cuz one?
No, it's the
That
one's
prequel where you
good.
see like a teenage version of Leatherface.
Oh,
It
I don't know if I watched
fucking
that one.
blows.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah,
Nah,
no,
not missing much.
the Do Your Thing, cuz I watched that just the other week twice.
The Do Your Thing. Cuz.
2 or 3
Damn.
times.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah, cuz I'd never
Mhm.
seen it before, and actually I legitimately really enjoyed it, and I had it on at work just in the
It's
background.
fun.
Isn't that the
It's
one
a
that
fun
has like a
watch.
huge shootout where like they blow the house to pieces with a bunch of guns or something?
In the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
yeah,
Starts,
it takes
yeah.
place right after the original when the girl gets away.
Okay.
Essentially,
okay,
she
yeah,
calls
yeah.
the cops, and that's what
Mhm.
happens.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's a Halloween movie too, by the way, if you're looking for Halloween shit.
Yeah, it
There you
is.
go.
Yeah, it's very, very low key. How because there's like Halloween directions or decorations like in the bar and shit like that.
Mm.
Randy,
This
since you were
thing-
talking about audiobooks, I actually started my first audiobook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening to Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic
Oh, that's-
philosopher from I've always that book
That's
and
like a
his
literate
philosophy
boys
was
book.
yeah, it's
Mm.
it's not very entertaining. I mean, it's like I'm like 30 minutes in. It's very I'm sure it's a very acquired taste book, but
You gotta be
you know,
stoic.
yeah, it's something like that. But other from that, just watching a lot of football, that's back on. Mainly playing video games than like watching stuff. That's what I've been doing for the most
What do you
part.
play?
I just started Elden Ring, which I'm already getting kind of over.
Yeah.
I needed a little like palate cleanser because I went on a little thing where I wanted to play all the Resident Evil games from the very beginning again.
Oh shit.
And I played the first one remake, beat it. I beat the second remake, beat it. The third one, the third remake, I know that one gets a lot of hate. I beat it 8 times in 2 weeks
Holy shit.
What?
because I was able to beat it like an hour and like 15 minutes. And I was trying to unlock Inferno mode. That's the hardest mode there is.
Mm.
And I'm on hardcore, and I can't beat the final nemesis form on hardcore because it's really fucking hard. And
I
I stopped
actually
playing.
liked that 3 remake. I thought it was pretty solid.
I liked
It's
it.
short, but
That's
it's
why people
fun.
hate
I
it.
like that it's
Yeah.
short. I didn't know it
Yeah.
was that short. How short is it for somebody who's never played before, you think? I'm just curious.
Like 5 hours maybe.
That's perfect length for me.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fun,
but they-
like, you know.
Yeah, they just I know it was just people hated it because they took out a lot of key parts from the original Nemesis game, like the clock tower. and like the length of the game. And then like I know I mean people are speed running it in the hardest level and they can get it. I think I've watched someone do it in like 42 minutes on Inferno mode or something like that. It's crazy like how fast these guys' reactions are when they do like the quick dodge and shit.
Damn, dude.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing for the most part.
What are you buying?
Oh hell
Nice.
yeah.
Solid.
Resident Evil
Sweet.
4.
Juice, you been watching anything?
Just a little bit. I think I mentioned it last week, but I watched Remember the Titans, which was great.
Yeah.
And so good. Good autumn vibes, fun football, just a good feel good type of film. So yeah. I watched that, and then I've been going through, since we covered Simpsons, during some meal times I'll be going through some of the Treehouse of Horrors, and it's the ones I think next year we're gonna get some special ones so I'm excited to cover next year's, but I just kind of moved past where we covered this year on our mini cast. Some good, some bad, mixed, but generally fun to just throw on. But yeah, that's all I've been watching. Bob, what you been watching?
A couple things. Yeah, like Mikey mentioned, Friday the 13th remake and Dirty Work. The Friday the 13th remake is okay. It's got some good kills. It's like I forgot that like Platinum Dunes made like a bunch of horror movies in the early 2000s, and they have this like really specific look. I haven't seen any of them in a while. The look isn't really like great. Some scenes looked nice, but it's got that like super dark, like unrealistic, like grainy gray blue thing that just doesn't.
Desaturated.
I don't know. It's just not very appealing. It's very saturated. It's not very appealing aesthetically, and it lacks a lot of the charm that the older movies tend to have. It's not fun. I would not describe it as fun. It's just like dark and gritty and whatever. But it's got a lot of good kills. A lot of good kill sequences, and there's like some dum-dums that you're like stoked when they finally get got. And Jason is like a fucking mountain. He's extremely imposing in this movie. So it's got like it definitely brings the horror, but it lacks like the fun charm that some of those other movies have. I got out of the theater and I watched a new release called The Substance. And this is I'm blanking on the director's name, but it is the lady that previously directed Revenge, that the rape revenge movie that is just called Revenge.
Is that the French one?
Yeah, she's a French female director.
Yeah.
And this was her second feature-length film. And it's in theaters now. Demi Moore plays this actress that is sort of still living in Hollywood, and she sort of made her name known with this workout show, this like aerobic show, and she was like the lead. And she's kind of aging out of Hollywood, and her producer, promoter, this dude that she works with, pretty much just flat out says like, yeah, once you hit 50, you're kind of done in Hollywood. And she's going through a hard time. She finds this thing called The Substance that's it seems like it's going to make you look younger and feel stronger and better and whatever. So she takes the substance, and who would have thought it goes horribly wrong. And it's like this intense body horror. Like if I just imagine David Cronenberg watching this movie with just like a raging erection the entire runtime, just fucking loving every second of it. I loved it. I thought it was great. It's a long one. It's like 2 hours, 20 minutes, but like, man, I was never bored. I was
been getting a lot of buzz.
Engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw people
during the
saying
climax,
like, this is the best horror film of the year.
It's very good. It could definitely be on some lists. During the theater was full when I was there. During the climax, these two sort of like middle-aged gentlemen left and walked by me, and I could hear their like grumblings of like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Like, they're just like
my pearls.
They're in over their head. I highly recommend it though. I really enjoyed it. Check it out. If you like body horror, for sure, check it out. Lastly, last night we put on The Guest, which is just a great like action forward horror movie. Definitely perfect to watch around Halloween time, which is why we threw it on. One of the best soundtracks out there, just banger after banger. Yeah, it's great. Mike Monroe is in there. Good shit. Definitely recommend it. An early Adam Wingard movie before he got that Godzilla money rolling.
Oh my lord.
So
All
The Guest,
right.
yeah. That is pretty much what I've been watching this week. We do not have any voicemails to play, but if you guys are listening and would like to call and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show or on episode 500, you can hit us up at 904-638-3231. And as far as prompts for next week, we're gonna be talking about 3 Halloween specials from Nickelodeon in the early 90s. So
Hell
call in
yeah.
and let us know what
Oh, damn.
what are some of your favorites Halloween specials, whether it be like animated shit or sitcoms or even modern
childhood stuff.
day shit, childhood stuff too. Yeah,
All the child
your
stuff.
your Garfields, your what have you. Call in, let us know.
Garfield special is really good.
904.
People love that Garfield
yeah.
special.
I have heard, yeah, I need
grew
to
up
watch
with
that
it.
this year. I didn't
Yeah.
either.
I
watch
think
that
I've
too.
seen it. But I didn't grow
I
up
have
with it.
I have the DVD where it's all 3 of the Garfield holiday specials, and that Halloween one's a lot of fun. He's like sleeping in his little box in the beginning of it, and he wakes up because a horror movie's on. He gets freaked out, and then he gets happy because he gets candy that night because it's Halloween.
Nice.
He's a little
Spoiler.
Story of my life.
that's the beginning of just the beginning of the episode. That's great.
Get
As long as
freaked
it's
out,
Halloween
get a little
forward,
candy.
I'm down.
Yeah. Call in 904-638-3231 and let us know. Like I said, next week. So we did this last year for the first time. We called it our Tricks and Treats episode, where we talk about like 3 Halloween specials. And this year we're focusing on early 90s shit. We're talking about Pete and Pete Halloweenies, which is from 1994. Rocko's Modern Life, the episode Sugar Frosted Frights from 1995. And Hey Arnold's Halloween from 1997.
God damn.
There you
The
go.
right era.
Yeah,
The
check
correct
that
era.
shit
The
out.
only good era of children's programming happened
Of
to be when
life.
I was in my formative years of childhood.
When I was a child, they
Only
really made good
appropriate
children's
time to
shit.
be a child.
The
The
They're
90s.
just playing games, man. They don't even know.
Got your
Randy-
SNES, you got your Genesis, your Dreamcast.
Randy, you
Oh my
said these
goodness.
were all on, was it Paramount? They're all streaming somewhere. I
Paramount
forget what you
Plus
said.
has most of the Nickelodeon stuff. The only one that's not out of the ones we're watching is Pete and Pete's Halloweenies, which is on YouTube. I don't think it's
Yes.
available anywhere else, so that's where they have it.
Cool. Yeah, check that shit out. All that is on disc too if you want to buy it, but that's
is, yeah.
like buying seasons of shit. So
Yeah.
check all that out. Get ready for next week's show. Mikey, thanks for sitting in with us again, dude. We love having
real.
you on.
I love coming on, guys. Anytime you guys want me here, I'll be there for you all.
Next time I will
Aw.
petition to give you a good film.
To be
Yeah,
fair, we
so-
didn't know because none of us had seen this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
the
it was
thing.
like,
It's like,
fair,
it
yeah.
might have been an incredible hidden
Maybe.
gem. That's the thing.
yeah.
You got to
Oh, it-
schedule
it-
before I watch the movie.
It's gonna come eventually. I mean, we have to go through it's fun to go through movies like this that none of us had any expectation really for. So
Yeah.
I mean, either way,
And it's
that
definitely not
big
the
movie's
worst.
gonna come.
Film that we've asked you to watch.
True.
No,
True.
By a lot, I would say. Yeah.
hell, if anything, remember I was supposed to be on Solo, and then we found out
And
all
you
that
watched it
bad
with us.
stuff.
With us.
Oh,
We all watched
I
it
had a-
together, didn't we?
I totally forgot. Yeah, you're in town. I had to
Oh,
bring the
man.
Blu-ray over.
Goddamn.
I had to watch that shit
Ah.
alone and deal with it.
Yeah, you did. You literally got served a
I had to watch
pile
it
of shit.
sitting next to Bob's Raging Boner, so I don't know. which one's
Oh,
worse.
get the fuck out of here.
Rob, will you go crank that hog already? God damn.
It's distracting me from watching this amazing piece of cinema.
Stare into the hog, and the hog stares back.
Goddamn.
Um,
You want to see my ding dong?
No.
Yeah, thanks for sitting in with us, Mikey, dude. Check out Let's Get Physical Media. Let's Get Physical Media.
Physical
Oh, whoa, whoa. Was it a commercial?
Anywhere you get your podcast.
Oh God.
And we'll be back next week. Like I said, Pete and Pete, Rocco's Modern Life, and Hey Arnold. Check that shit out. And until then, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Janet!